Guys, Across the Spider-Verse broke my heart because it ended way too soon. Yeah, that's right. This movie, which is 2 hours and 16 minutes, which makes it the longest animated movie ever made by a Western studio, ends way too soon for my liking. Which is to say, it is so good. It is so good. So, like, go watch it. Because I'm going to do light spoilers on this point, but like I'm not gonna spoil like huge plot twists or anything, but I'm gonna spoil some things. So yeah, but that cliffhanger, dude, they ended on such a huge cliffhanger. I cannot wait like 7 more months or 10 more months or whatever it is. It's next March. But yeah, in case you were wondering, this is better than the first one. That's a lofty thing to say. I know, but it's true. Let me actually like come down and back to earth and like just let me talk about it specifically. So first of all, I will mention like a couple of things that did bother me, just because like there are a couple things that will, just want to get that out of the way. The number one thing that bothered me a little bit was that some of the sound mixing was a bit off. Like sometimes I couldn't really hear what people were saying in very specific parts because the music was a bit louder than the dialogue or whatever, and sometimes people just talked really fast. And also there were a lot of references. I loved most of them. Sometimes it got a little bit overwhelming at times, but those are like my only 2 complaints, guys. So first of all, this is very much like a part 1 of a story. Know that going in, because I thought I was only in there for like an hour, and then I saw a big to be continued, and I was like, what? There's no way that was 2 hours. But yeah, it was. I think it goes without saying, if you've seen the trailers, the animation is absolutely gorgeous. Like, this is one of the most beautifully and just well animated movies, or not even movies, just things I've ever seen. It basically takes what they did with the original movie, where they started mixing styles a little bit, and they just cranks it up to 11. It pushes the envelope way more than the first one. And that's saying something, because the first one pushed it quite a lot. The mixing of all the different worlds and all the different characters and everything, it was like, this movie was so much fun. It was so fun seeing all the different characters and everything interact. Like, obviously all the old faces like Miles and Gwen and Peter B. Parker and whatnot, they were all fun. But then like you get characters like, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, I think I'm pronouncing it right based off of what they said in the movie, but I could be saying it wrong. Pravinder Prabhakar, Spider-Man India. He is an absolute delight for like the 5 minutes that he has of screen time. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, is like genuinely pretty intimidating. There's a character that's played by Andy Samberg who's really funny, but I don't want to spoil that. And of course, Hobie Brown, aka Spider-Punk, is really, really cool. And just like if he's real and he wants to, and he has like a phone number, just call me. We can talk. If you look like Hobie Brown, hit me up. The Spot character, he's done great. Like, he's kind of goofy. He's goofy, like, you've seen the trailers, but then, like, he takes, like, this really dark turn, like, halfway through, and it's so cool. It's so cool. Like, they do something with the animation of him that's, like, just floored me. But on the note of the mixing animation styles, I mentioned it already, but, like, they have like hand-drawn stuff. Gwen's world is pretty much just fully watercolors, and it's so beautiful. And then there's like a one world that is visited that is animated in a very specific way that made me laugh because of who the directors were. That's very vague, but once you see it, you'll know what I mean. Lord and Miller bringing some of their old animation work back into Spider-Verse. I see you. This is definitely like easily the best movie of 2023 so far. I don't think there's gonna be anything that's gonna top it. Pack it up, other movies. We won. Like, the only one that I think that could even come close at this point is probably like Barbie. As funny as that sounds. It's definitely not The Flash. Definitely not The Flash is gonna beat it. Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, go see it in theaters. It was so worth it to see in theaters, guys. Like, the only thing I would advise to you is that if like you're photosensitive to like flashing lights, you probably won't want to go, but you probably knew that if you saw the first movie, because it's kind of just like that. But it's so worth it to see in theaters. It's like such a sensory experience. I don't think I've had this good of an experience in a theater since maybe Dune Part 1, and I loved Dune in the theater, so that's saying something. That cliffhanger, I cannot. They're doing the Infinity War thing again. They're doing the thing where Infinity War ended and they have to wait a year for part 2. But this time it's a little bit less than a year, but still. Yeah, sorry I haven't been posting on this channel as much. I've just been a bit busy, but I want to get back into it. Gonna keep doing stuff. Enjoy Spider-Verse 2. Go watch it. Across the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters June 2nd. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters June 2nd. In June theaters June 2nd. Across the Spider-Verse.